Okay, let's do some drawing. I'm using just a regular Hilroy plain paper, which is what I'm used to using, especially when I'm doodling. If I'm doing something more specific, I might use something else, but for most purposes this works pretty well. I'm using a Micron 05 pen, which is my preferred pen of choice for drawing these days. Okay. Now, my way of drawing is pretty intuitive. I don't really plan anything. Try not to use much of my conscious mind at all and just see what my intuition comes up with, basically. And I guess you'll see my way of drawing, how it works. Alright, I think I have it positioned okay. Just want everything to be on camera here. Alright, let's see what I come up with. Let's see what we get. I'm just going to let my mind go and see what I come up with. A little bit of pointless doodling there. Alright, let's see what I come up with in ways of faces and characters. Okay, he looks pissed off. I'll just give him some teeth. Why not? He's like a bald, angry clown or something. I don't know. Let me see what I can come up with here. I don't even know what this is. Some kind of interesting pattern. I picture that as being like a neat shoulder blade armor or something. I come up with a lot of my ideas just by doing this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a little too small the way I drew it there, but okay, let's see. No idea what this is. Nonsensical doodling. I have to try to come up with something more interesting than this. Try to keep my paper straight. Okay, let's see. And so yeah, I mean, I started drawing when I was very young, and actually my first memory was always my mother and grandmother standing over me, and I'm just a little kid on all fours, not able to walk yet. My mother lays these crayons over the floor, and I remember picking up a crayon, and I felt this electric sensation through my fingers, through my body. I just had this intuitive knowing what it was for. And it wasn't like writing or anything, it was drawing. I just started drawing, and I've been drawing literally all my life. And so I learned to draw at a very young age in my own way. As I got a little bit older, I started looking at books on, how to draw animals, how to draw buildings, how to draw human beings. And I could never follow that, because I just draw, and it's not always perfect what I come up with. But these days there is software editing, and I always draw with a pen. It's very rare when I ever draw with a pencil. I can do really detailed drawing with a pencil, but I have this thing about erasing and tracing. I don't like doing either of those. I like just drawing, and what I get is what I get. Now, sometimes how do I put this? I'm kind of happy with what I come up with, and I'm kind of not, so I will trace it, especially for something professional, but, for the most part, I just see what I can come up with on my own, and sometimes you get things that seem pretty, so I think what happens here is that my conscious mind picks up on what seems to be illogical shapes taking form. Like I didn't even know just now what I was doing, and the line went too far up there for that, but I'm not really trying to get things exact, I'm just trying to see what I come up with. But you just go with it, trust your intuition, and you get some really weird, funky looking images. And cartoon characters, that was something I really got into in my teenage years doing. And sometimes they turn out kind of neat. Rarely do I come up with something that's perfect exactly this way. I usually have to slow down and apply a little bit more thought. But this is how I come up with unique ideas, and just, Like, what the hell is that? You know, can I make sense of it? Sometimes you can't. You just have to let it go. Like, I don't know what the hell I can even call that. It looks like he's got an antenna that's going crazy. Some kind of weird alien, insect like alien, I suppose. I don't know. That's something that a bow tie with a tiny head, maybe. Put a little thought into that, and I probably shouldn't. Should just see what comes, because you do use your conscious mind to an extent as things take form, but you come up with these really neat ideas by... Look at that. Isn't that weird? See, that's the kind of thing that I would never think of if I was really just, you know, thinking about what I wanted to do. If I had an idea, a concept, and I developed it, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. And it looks like he's got a weird kind of hat. That was not intended. It's an accident, but that's funny. Well, an accident, unless my subconscious chose that. I don't know. But this is how you can come up with some really weird concepts. Because, yeah, you're letting your subconscious basically do the work. You're just having fun doing whatever. And like I say, this is kind of just the way I learned to draw a very long time ago. Believe it or not, I'm 40 years old now. People tell me I look younger. But yeah, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I usually take it for granted. But people keep telling me it's my gift, and I should be using it more. So I've been incorporating some more artwork, of my own artwork, I mean, into my books that I publish. And this is kind of neat. This reminds me a little bit of Roger Daltrey for some reason. I don't know. He's got some very broad shoulders. Oh. Looks like a very lean man with very broad shoulders. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, I got some... I don't know why I'm doing all these loopy... I'm doing all these like weird loop shapes, curly design things here for some reason. I don't know where that's coming from. That's interesting. Let's see what else I can come up with here. He's just a happy guy, I guess. Hello! He looks like just a jolly country dude. Give him a belly button. He's got a tank top, I guess. Oh boy, I don't know. Give him a couple hairs. But see, that's my thinking, and it's often I find my best ideas don't come from conscious thoughts so much as, like I say, just seeing what comes out instinctually. So there I go again with the curly design. Don't know where that's coming from. Oh, okay, this guy's happy. I don't know what oh my god, that's funny. I should give him some teeth. Yeah. It's a happy thingy. That's what that is. He's a thingy. I don't know. It's almost like something between a dog and a camel, I guess. I don't know exactly what that is. So, okay, let's see what else. Hopefully I don't sound too crazy here, because I'm trying to talk while I draw, which I'm not used to doing. Usually I don't even listen to music while I'm drawing. I just draw to the silence. And I'm lucky enough right now to be living in a place that is silent. So in the past I've had to live in very noisy conditions, and most artists will understand that that's very hard to deal with, because for any kind of serious art you need quiet. Now, music is an okay substitute. Some people will listen to white noise or whatever works for you, I guess, to drown out whatever noise you need to drown out. music is certainly better than nothing, and it can be inspiring, of course. Absolutely inspiring. But I find that I usually do my most, I don't know how to put this, genuine work when I'm just doing this to silence, because there's something about music that takes me away from the pure quality of what I'm doing in a way. It's hard to explain, but what I'll come up with to music usually looks more stylistic, more surface-like, you know. I hate to say surfacey, that's not a word, so I avoided saying surfacey. I said surface-like, but yeah, basically. Whereas my more genuine work, or my more bizarre and interesting stuff usually comes about when I'm just doing it. I'm completely relaxed and just into drawing or writing poetry, whatever it is that I'm doing, but when I'm completely immersed in that and there's absolutely no sensory distraction. That's a good way of putting it. All my senses are on what I'm doing. Although right now I'm on camera, and so might be a little bit self-conscious, but that doesn't always hurt. Some of my best drawings I think I've done while people were watching me draw. So sometimes it actually helps to have an audience, but I mean, this is awful. This is just terrible doodling I'm doing here, really. Yeah, got some neat little ideas that I've kind of working. Let's see if I can come up with some wilder stuff. It may get too wild, but let's just see. Hopefully it'll make some kind of sense. Oh, isn't that neat? I like that. A little confusing though. There's teeth, but there's no lips drawn around it, so it's just the teeth, which can be confusing. Almost looks like a worm behind a couple leaves. I don't know. You get lots of nonsensical stuff and stuff that just looks really bad when you draw this way, but like I say, you can come up with some really neat original ideas, and all of this is completely original, of course, off the top of my head. None of this is anything I've drawn before, and this is how I love to draw. I love to draw things that I've never drawn before. It's boring just to draw the same stuff. That's one reason I didn't want to go into computer animation. I really don't want to have to draw a certain cartoon character over and over and over from different angles, and it's just, to me, that's boring. It takes something fun and artistic and makes it into something more craft, and just feels like work rather than play. This is play. This is real art, even though this may not be my best work or anything, but it's for my first video, being a little self-conscious here. I think it's a nice place to start. I'm sure I'll do better stuff as we go along in future videos. Sometimes I draw really dark and gothic like stuff, sometimes really detailed, and other times it's more cartoony, so to speak. Yeah, silly, goofy cartoons rather than something more detailed or illustrative in a stylistic sense, maybe. I actually don't like using the word style when talking about art. This might sound a little hard, it's just my opinion, but to me style is for hack artists. But someone else might call style, I just call drawing, Your own character will come out through what you do. And you can call it style or whatever. And different artwork can have different moods and different feel, different vibes, different tones, and so you can call that style, but to me that's just I'd rather use a word like tone or vibe or something. It's just more artistic. It's like, as an author, I do not like using words like protagonist, antagonist, manuscript. To me, it's my book, and these are my characters. And it's like that. Sometimes I'll refer to a character as a hero. Here's my hero, here's my villain, or whatever. But those are like executive words, really, made up by scholars who attempt to understand art from a more analytical perspective, but from an outsider's perspective. Real artists do not use words like protagonist, antagonist, unless you're trying to sound smart or you're talking to a certain audience that would appreciate those words. Let's see, I still have some room here. Oh, wow, that's neat. I like this. Huh. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's neat. Wow, and some kind of weird tribal character. It's like a shaman and wearing like a mask, only the mask isn't fully illustrated. Can't really tell where his mask ends and his face begins, but that's kind of neat. It's different. Different people have asked me, why don't I draw more characters that look normal? And it's like, you really want normal, you know? This is normal. I'll draw normal. Here we go. This is a normal man. Mr. Normal. Like, I just... Oh, he's got a very small chin. He's got a weak little chin there. But anyway, you get the point. It's like, who cares? Normal's so boring. We all have to deal with normal every day. We have normal lives and normal people, normal procedures. It's all so boring. Art to me is the exact opposite of normal. Normal is usually a facade to a point. We all have some normality in us, I think, but we all have some originality. Everyone's different. In my opinion, everyone has a soul, whether they're aware of it or not. Everyone has depth. Even if you don't believe in the soul, you probably believe in the subconscious. Some would say that's the same thing. But, yeah. I'm trying to keep this paper down flat. And so, yeah, art's a way of exploring deeper things. And, it's neat, like how you'll see your anxieties come up. Like, sometimes you don't realize how much anxiety you might have in your life until you do some drawing. And if you draw a bunch of characters that are crazy anxious, and you realize, wow, I've got a lot of anxiety inside that I haven't been, like, expressing or getting out. Likewise, of course, if you're really upset, if you're really angry, frustrated with some things in your life, well, you might find yourself drawing a lot of really angry images, you know. If you have unresolved issues, you might be drawing some really dark and disturbing stuff. Not necessarily. Sometimes that's just a way of simply exploring yourself, but anyway, I believe it's cathartic to draw. I think everybody should be painting or drawing or doing something artistic or with crafts, because at the very least it's relaxing, and any kind of art really is a great way to express yourself, but, you know, to blow off steam, and there's something really healthy about it. You know, it's like something inside of you is communicating that can't communicate otherwise. Art allows for a unique form of expression. We all know about talking and body language and all that, but art is a whole other deal. Allows us to learn new things about ourselves and each other. Especially if you really allow yourself to not think about what you're drawing and just let stuff come out. Maybe some really bizarre or disturbing stuff that comes out, or it could be some really beautiful stuff, or a little bit of both. I've got this dorky character is coming to mind here. Don't quite have room enough for his head. Often works out that way when I'm doodling like this. But, give him some freckles. Yeah, I kind of like him. Simple, but, you know. Oh, yeah. This is, for me, very discardable art. Pretty much guarantee you this will end up crunched up and thrown in the garbage. Which, you know, isn't to say it's not time well spent. Some of you probably think I'm being too hard on myself or something, but it's just the way it is. I don't know. I've drawn a hell of a lot of images, as I've written a hell of a lot of stories in my life. Very few of them survive. That's just the reality. Otherwise, I'd be like a hoarder, you know? I'd have just tons and tons of stuff piled up everywhere. So now, over the years, I've had to learn to throw out a lot of stuff that I didn't really want to throw out. So, really, I haven't kept much. But it's alright. Art is eternal anyway. It doesn't really go anywhere. You know, I mean, if you believe in... hope I'm not rambling here too much, but if you believe in Carl Jung's theory of the collective consciousness, well, maybe all this stuff always existed and always will exist. That's one way of looking at it anyway. Huh, well, you know, it's kind of neat. We have some interesting looking characters here that I didn't put too much thought into. This guy actually, his ears are kind of pointed and looks almost like an elf, but horribly drawn, of course. But you know what? I hate to waste paper, so on the other side of it, this is an old... I probably shouldn't do that here. It's an old habit of mine. I never liked wasting paper. I've always been aware that paper comes from trees, and so yeah, it's just an old habit of mine. I like to just draw something a little better here. Here we go. I'm putting a little more conscious care, you might say, into this one. So, be a little bit better drawn, but not necessarily as unique or interesting, but I can explore and kind of let it flow a bit and see what comes out here. Oh, isn't that interesting? Okay, ended up giving him a bold hit. What the hell? Ooh, that didn't go well. Unless I excuse that away as some kind of weird hair choice. It's a disaster. But I don't even know what that is. What the hell? I think this is, Jesus. Oh my lord. This is like a scarecrow in a, let's just say it's a banana scarecrow. I have no idea what a banana scarecrow is, but this is what it looks like. Oh my. It's a banana scarecrow. Because why not? Yeah, I don't know. So, I'm being goofy here. Kind of letting it flow a bit. He has the look of a spirited young man. Let's see. This guy's maybe a little contemplative. Don't know what I just did there. This is the kind of thing that happens when you're not really thinking too much about what you're doing, although I'm thinking a little more than I was before. So, yeah. Sometimes I like to draw characters like this. This is a neat... something a little different than what I was doing before. Huh. Weird head design, but it does signify that this guy is old and lean. He has an old and lean body. Let's make him wrinkly. God, I have an idea of giving him a bald head. Oh, it's a couple little hairs that are like way out of place. Oh God. Oh God, it's like an old man is dying on drugs. That's awful. Oh, I was going to end the video on that one, but that's kind of the depressing one to end it on. Oh God, let's see if we can come up with something a little bit more positive to end this on. And as this video's gone a little bit longer than I intended. So let's see. This guy's kind of interesting. He's got some kind of weird hat thing going on. He's got weird arms and legs. If you can call those arms and legs, I don't think you can. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Ah. Funky. Alright. Let's fill that in there. Well, it's different. It's definitely different. So anyway, this is giving you an idea of the way I draw, and yeah, the intuition of my artwork. And like I say, when you're drawing this way, it's not going to be the most perfect. You're going to have mistakes. If you're drawing them in pen, that means the only way to fix them would be on using some kind of software. Otherwise, you'll have to trace them, which is something I just never liked to do for whatever reason. To me, that was always cheating, which doesn't make any sense, because what is it to edit it on software? Well, same thing, really, but it's just an old bias of mine, I guess. So, yeah, I'm more comfortable drawing in pen than with pencil, generally speaking. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be doing more, and I'll be doing a lot more interesting stuff, I'm sure. This is just a place to start and to introduce you to some of the wacky cartoon type characters that I can draw.